Perfect. All right. Welcome to the Sweet Life Sports Podcast with Aubrey Greer. I am with Chris Forte, three-time champion from 3 different leagues. You've been in the game for 10 years. Give us a little bit about your background and how did you get your start in sports?
Hey man, appreciate you having me on here, AG. Humble, man, for this opportunity, man, and connect with you. And I think you said I was the first, so I'm humble, man, a 3-time champ, but you gotta be humble with it, you know what I mean? So but appreciate your friendship, man. Just like I know we were talking earlier. Appreciate everything you've done for me over my career, you know, as a young puppy going to the Bucks my first year, my first week. I remember all the training and all that, man. So it's real good to see you succeed and where you're at now. So some congrats and kudos to you.
Thanks.
But how I got started in sports, I think it's kind of similar to like a lot of people, man. You know, you think you was a hooper, you know, young up and, you know, playing sports and all that type of stuff, right? And then I quickly realized in college, my second year that I wasn't going to get too far. So transferred schools and studied sports management and sports administration, business management, administration, and things of that nature, man, because realized I get a lot further working in sports than playing.
Yeah. We all have to make that realization sooner rather than later.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a good journey though, man. Now 10 years in the industry and still kicking. Switch it up a little bit now, but man, I'm loving it, man. It's been a great career so far.
That's really good to hear. I'm again extremely happy for you and all things you got going on. So we hinted earlier that you won 3 championships with 3 different leagues. Talk to us about what was it like working with Cleveland during the LeBron era, coming to Tampa during the Brady era, leaving Tampa, going to Colorado for the Avalanche, and clipping off your 3rd ring. Was that 3 rings in like 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, it's been crazy. 2016 was wild. 2015, 2016 was with the Cavs. That was actually my first position in on the pro side of things. So before I was working in collegiate athletics, thought I wanted to be athletic director. Quickly pivoted, you know, on that end, but got some experience in the college athletic realm, and then got into sports on the pro side with the Cavs. And you know, I'm you know, it's like a love-hate relationship with LeBron, because my first year we won a championship. My last year there, he left. You know, so you know, I guess I still love him for giving me a ring, but it was hurtful, man, when he left. But that first year, the 2016, I still tell my people that was probably one of the best years I've had. Honestly, it was just the people that I was working with, you know, my colleagues, you know, my managers, my directors, everything was just. It was an amazing organization, and just the people around us, man, was just it was awesome. It was really a cool experience. So learned a lot throughout that program and everything. But then when we got to the last year, 2018, Bron, I think it was, I want to say it was around July 4 week, because I remember having to kind of stay around, like, just in case, because he didn't sign yet. I remember we were doing 3 and 5 year deals, you know, before he actually like committed or let, you know. Yep. So I remember, man, he ended up leaving, and I was just like, wow. Shocker, like the most polarizing figure almost in all of sports, you know, leaves your organization. What do you do? But it was a great learning moment for me. You know, it was as a panic moment, but I learned so much throughout that process. Of what it's like to be high and then come down, you know, and all that type of stuff. So it was amazing. And then after that, I went to the Bucks, and I stayed down a little bit, you know, with Jameis Winston throwing 30 interceptions a year, you know what I mean? Your boy Jameis Winston. And then TB12 comes in during a pandemic year, which was wild. I remember when we got the call about that, when we were working together,
Yep.
working at home. I think we were working at home maybe a week or so.
Yep. Yep.
And got a call that he's really coming and ESPN rumors were actually true. And ended up winning the championship with him during a pandemic year, which was absolutely amazing. Back high again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then ended up leaving and wanted to really that pandemic year, man. I had a lot of time at home, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like, you know, you had time to think and to read and to spend time on like all these different things where you didn't have to commute anymore. You didn't have like the in office, you know, all that type of stuff. So my mindset shifted and wanted to get into leadership, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, and I have all this wealth and knowledge and all these things that, at least in my opinion, that I've learned over the years from all of my mentors and leaders. Mm-hmm. How can I then share? And so that's where, you know, the position came about around the Colorado Avalanche. And so was the manager out there, you know, manager of service out there, and great time, learned a lot. I didn't think I would move from Florida, 90-degree weather, to Denver. Denver's weather is not bad, actually. It's actually not bad. But had a great time just like learning the sport of hockey. There's not a lot of us in hockey, so that was something that was, you know, a hurdle for me to jump over. You know what I mean? That there was not a lot of us in the building, or looks like us on the ice. So it was something that like I embraced, though, right? Like they knew who I was clearly. So being able to embrace that, man, was something amazing. And being able to win a championship, when I first got there, something I did not know was they were about to announce that you're going to have to go back to wearing masks in the building and vaccinated and all that. I learned that my first week. I was oh man. I was like, woo. So it was definitely a learning curve. But then at the end of the year, man, winning the championship, the parade was crazy. I mean, it was certainly an amazing experience. So that's a long story, of where I'm at today and being with F1. So,
I mean, I think that your journey is amazing. It's very inspiring. You mentioned how when you went to Denver, Colorado to work for the Avalanche, it wasn't many people that looked like you on the business side or the sports side. Talk to the people about what actually goes on the business side of sports and why the selling of tickets, the events, and the marketing behind what happens on the ice, on the court, and on the field is so important.
It's extremely important, man. Obviously, there's different aspects of the business, as you know, with marketing, sponsorships, ticket sales. You got, I mean, everything. And so I think for anyone that especially is new to the industry, trying to figure out where your niche is, right? Understanding, taking those internships, those practicums, you know, back in college, and all the things that you can to learn, to be able to grow, to figure out where you're at and where you want to be. For me, I was fortunate enough to have a great leader when I first got into the industry. And so I was able to kind of figure out, okay, I know ticket sales is my thing. This is where I'm at. I love people. I love making people happy. I love engaging with people. Oh, and by the way, I love to sell, right? And so it was my kind of method is, you know, I'm buddy, I'm friends with you, you know, we're having a great relationship, that type of deal. You know, but then I come out of nowhere with like, oh, hey, by the way, I need 100,000, you know, on a credit card. When I kind of swipe it, you know what I mean? And so it's so crucial and important because ticket sales, I mean, it goes towards obviously supporting the team, supporting the fans support the team and all of that. But from an engagement standpoint, right? Like from a marketing standpoint, like having butts in seats is something extremely critical, and being able to like break that down and learn how to do that. And now that I learned now, like NBA is completely different than NFL. That's way different than NHL. That's now a whole new level and a different level working now with Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix. Here in Vegas, it's something that is completely different on this side. It's something I'm learning every day, man. But the sales process and ticket sales is crucial to any organization in the league.
And I commend you a lot because you have worked in multiple leagues. You mentioned how you started in college, went to NBA, came to NFL, went to NHL, and now you're in Formula One. What do you think is like the biggest attribute to you being able to be so diverse in this space?
Man, you got to be adaptable, man. That's like my biggest. When people will say like, how do you move around and how do you whatever walk the walk, talk the you got to move different in different ways, man, right? And in which each organization. And so I think it's being able to be adaptable is the biggest thing. Obviously, you have being persevering, all the different intangible skills and all that type of stuff. But I think for my ability to be adaptable and obviously likable and things of that nature, it's something that is crucial because the networking piece of it is just, it's a big industry, but it's so small, as you know, right? Every single job that I've had, I think I'm on like my seventh one, 6 or 7 organizations, something like that. Every single job I've received, obviously because of my work ethic, right? And I'm good at what I do in a humble way. But the relationships I've built and the networking that I've done, man, every single job I've received because someone picked up the phone and was like, yeah, he's a good guy. You can hire him. He's legit. He'll work hard. He'll come in and make your team better. So it's something that is continuous, man.
And I agree, like you do have a very strong reputation. You're someone that I strongly admire and respect. And I'm happy to see you continue to grow and blossom because I feel like the better you do, the better it helps me get opportunities. The better that I do, the more opportunities that you're going to get. And I think it works hand in hand because we do stand out, whether it's in Formula One, NHL, MLB, NBA, or NFL. It's not that many of people of color in leadership roles. So I definitely root for you. I'm cheering for you from a long distance, and I'm super proud of you. I want to pivot a little bit to like, when did you know this is a lifestyle for you and not a job? Like, was it a sale you made? Was it a service deal you had to come through, a big renewal, floor seats? Like, when was you was like, I'm in my bag and this is my lifestyle? People know me as Chris, the guy who can help them up with sports.
It was the Cleveland experience. When I got to Cleveland, like I said, the atmosphere, the culture, the environment, the people, we were just a well-oiled machine, and it was really a new machine, honestly. They brought a lot of new people in, but the leadership there was rocking, man. And so I knew it was a lifestyle when I sold I think I remember that guy's name. I'm not going to say it, but I'll say Scott. His first name is Scott. And one of my first floor seat sales. And I think it was for like 75,000 or something like that. 4 seats. And that wasn't even on VIP, like feet on the hardwood, but that was like my first one. It's like a 3-year deal or something. And it was just the feeling of, bringing in money and being able to come in, look good in the suit, take them to the floor seats, and this is what I can do. And, we're obviously, you go through your needs analysis or what are you looking for, all that type of stuff. But being able to close that deal, it gave me the confidence of like, okay, I can do this at a high level, right? And be able to produce and show myself that I'm able to be productive in this role, and not only this role, but roles, afterwards. But that was like my first experience with the Cavs. I was like, okay, this is not a 9 to 5 at all. I got a work cell phone in which I need to answer pretty much at any moment. Maybe unless it's outside of hours, like a client or something like that. But sportsman, you're working. Those days I was working at least 12 hours, especially on a game day.
Yep.
Prime time LeBron, that's an 8 p.m. Eastern Standard start. Ball time is 8 a.m. Game don't start till 8 p.m. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it wasn't, it's a lifestyle, man. Light nights, weekends. I was very fortunate there. Holidays. Oh man, I can tell you how many Christmas Day games we had. Family drove up, come to the game. That was our Christmas, right?
Yep.
So I was fortunate enough to live within walking distance, of the arena and everything. But it was very much a lifestyle change, man. But it was crazy because it's rewarded me now to where I'm not even right now in that lifestyle, right? Like I've had, I'm married now, right? Like I got a kid on the way. Things have changed on that end, but the grind of being with the other teams and everything, man, showed me, okay, this is rewarding. If you put in your work, you put in your networking, you know what I'm saying? You get good and fine tune your craft.
Yep.
Man, it's rewarding, but it's definitely a lifestyle. It ain't 9 to 5.
It definitely ain't 9 to 5. And I'm glad you mentioned you're married now, you have a baby in way. Congratulations. Talk to the people that do have spouses or that plan to start families, how your spouse has to be on board with your lifestyle. I can't just jump and do XYZ on game day. I'm unavailable for certain events and client meetings. I'm client facing. I'm going out of office. So talk to the people of what is your day to day with a wife and a baby on the way.
It's very much so different now, than before. Right now we have, I'm not on nights and weekends and everything with Formula One, right? So I'm fortunate enough to kind of have a little bit of a change. But I can talk a little bit about the struggle, right? With it. I'll tap in it out a little bit, but it's so important to make sure that your spouse or your wife, whoever it is aligned.
Yes.
You have to 100% be aligned. You can't be on different pages or even different books. It has to be you're 100% of understanding this is what it's going to be like. This is what, you're signing up for and all of that. Right. So for me, when I was with the Cavs, I was fortunate enough to be single and living close, and I can run ragged, right?
Yeah.
Well, my wife didn't come into my life until when I was there, at the Bucks 2018, where it was hey, I got an event, I can't make dinner tonight, but I got some leftovers. Yep. I'm gonna eat at the event, but I'll be home by this time. And I promise I'll make it up to you, whatever it is, right? But you have to be aligned on being on the same schedule and being able to communicate as well, right? Being able to communicate and people communicate differently on different wavelengths and what have you, but making sure that you're checking in and you're communicating and you're making time to spend time with that spouse because you're gonna miss it because of a game or an event or something that goes late night, what have you. As long as you're aligning those things using we use schedules. So I know all right, if it's on a schedule, I'll look at my schedule for the week, look at my schedule 2 days out. When you get in, obviously leadership, you start to plan ahead, all that type of stuff. And so it was all right, if it's on a calendar, we're doing it 100%. We make it happen. As long as there ain't no, we're doing it, right? Understand your date nights versus, all of that, right? And so when I was with the Bucks, it was my wife and I's first kind of time being together and dating and going into marriage, that type of deal. And so we had obviously events and weekends on games on the weekends on Sundays, which is not too bad compared to the NBA. NFL was like, all right, you got once every week or 2 weeks, you got a game, long day, but it's a little bit more balanced, right?
Yeah.
Well, once we went from the NFL to the NHL,
yep,
that's a little different, right? Now we are 2-3 times a week of late nights and weekends and all of that, right? So that transition for us was not the greatest, and it was because it was on me. Like she wasn't with me before when I was with the Cavs, right? So like she's used to the once a week, game and all that. Then we get to 3 games a week. It was like, well, when are we going to go out for dinner? Or when are we, you know what I mean? And I didn't prepare her for that. So I think like on my end, I could have done a better job of like communicating and opening up, you know what I'm saying? Like explaining all that. And so like fortunately, like a part of the reason I took the role here with Formula One, amazing opportunity, learning on a global scale, right? Like a completely different side of the business, and all of that. But like a part of it is like I have a little bit more time. Now with a baby on the way, I got a little bit more time to be able to get some of these things in and spend time and be able to be there, man. So it's long story long again, it's a journey. And that person has to be aligned with whatever you're chasing.
Agree 100%. I'm married with 2 kids. I'm about to celebrate 6 years of marriage, and you're absolutely right. Communication.
Hey, you need to teach us up, man.
Communication is definitely key. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you 2 quick questions. What has been the best sporting event you've ever experienced? Championship hockey, championship basketball, championship Super Bowl in your own stadium. What's been like, man, this is pretty cool. I can't believe I get to do this. What was that moment?
Man, that's a tough one. I got like 3.
Hit me.
I got like 3. My first
you
one.
You can have 3. 3-time champ.
Hey, I like that. See, there you go. Well, they all got all 3. So the first one is a part of just a part of like why I love working in sports and all of that. But like my first one was with my dad. It helps with I and my statements on your phone too, right? One of my first times going to a game with my dad. I'm a big North Carolina Tar Heel fan, basketball fan, and they were playing OU Bobcats where I went to school. And we drove all the way down to St. Louis. They were playing in the tournament. And we were able to go to that game together, cheering on, our Bobcats and all of that. While my favorite team is playing. So I was kind of conflicted, you know what I mean? But the ability my dad also went to OU as well. So being able to be in the student section with my dad, like cheering on, like that was one of the like best experiences from I guess a personal, emotional side of things. So that would be my first one. But second one, I gotta say the Bucks, obviously winning the championship. You know what I'm saying? That was just, I mean, wow.
It was
that was amazing, man. Like that. We won't get into the after party. All I had to say, you know what I mean? But that experience was phenomenal. Be there with my wife and being able to cheer them on. It was just like unbelievable. You know what I mean? And it was like COVID time when you ain't got all these people around you either. You know what I mean? Like it was amazing. Just from the logistics to seeing how it was ran to just everything. I can't even, I don't have the words to explain it because, you know what I mean? Like it was that amazing. I think I was on the edge of my seat the whole time though, even though it was a boring game, it was the Kansas City Chiefs and you knew 2-tutty lead doesn't mean anything to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, so it was like not until maybe 5 minutes left, 5-6 minutes left in the fourth quarter is when I was like, I looked at Nicole, I was like, I think we got it in the bag. You know what I mean? So that one. And then lastly, winning the championship with the Avs it was something special because I didn't fully understand hockey until the playoff time.
Yeah.
Playoff hockey and Stanley Cup Finals hockey, that's different, man. In the NFL, like, you know the game, so it's like, all right, it's 9. I think it was at one point in the Bucks game, it was like 9-20 or something. So it's like you're doing the math, you're counting down the quarters and the time and all, you know the game, right? In hockey, you go to overtime, the next goal wins. Like, you don't know when that's gonna happen. You're literally at the edge of your seat the entire time, just watching back and forth. Like, you don't know when it's gonna happen. You can't leave your seat in hockey, or you will miss the goal. Like, if you miss the goal, like, your whole entire everything is done. You know what I mean? And so, like, being able to experience that, especially when you go into overtime, Stanley Cup, like, it is something that I've never seen, like, a fan base or just fans in general be able to, like, root on their team, cheer, and stay engaged the whole. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. It's a different level. It's a different level.
Well, again, man, we're running out of time, but Forte, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us about your career. I am very excited about your future and all things you're going to do at Formula One, being in Vegas. Congratulations on still growing your career and continuing to improve. Best of luck to you in your endeavors. Congratulations on your newest bundle of joy. Again, man, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show. It was very important to have you first on the Sweet Life Sports podcast with Barbie Greer.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the time. Sorry, long stories long and all that, but I appreciate you being able to invite me on. Our friendship, man. Like, you're a great dude. Like, don't stop being you. Like, I miss you coming in saying happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, it was happy every day was
every day.
That. And, like, man, when people understand that, and I know that you're a great leader there, because your energy, man, is unmatched. Never lose that energy, man. Like,
it's all I know.
It is unmatched, man. And you bring people up, man. Even if you're down, like, understand, especially being in leadership, like, they look to you for the pulse. You know what I mean? And you always got it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you. I appreciate the friendship. I appreciate the mentorship. Thank you for having me on the show, AG. You're the man. Much love. Anything you ever need, anyone that listening to this needs, look me up. More than happy to be a resource.
Perfect. Well, again, Forte, much appreciated, man. Means a lot. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll definitely wrap soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
You're welcome. Peace.
All right. I'll see you.